So I am 29 and I've been living with rheumatoid arthritis for 24 years about. I actually got sick when I was 5, which is a fairly common thing for people who have rheumatoid arthritis. And I had a number of other diagnoses or, comorbidities that popped up at the same time, like asthma. And, at first they didn't know what was going on because in the early 90s, there was not a lot of education about arthritis within, kind of the general healthcare sphere, but especially in pediatricians, like there's kind of that, stigma of like, oh, well, you're too young to have arthritis because we always think of wear and tear. We don't think of autoimmune. So it took almost a year for us to get my diagnosis. In the interim, I was misdiagnosed with a number of things. At one point, they thought I had leukemia, and they told me I was going to die. Like it was kind of a big deal. And right before my 6th birthday, no less. And when we finally figured out that I had rheumatoid arthritis, what they wanted to do was put me on methotrexate, which can also be used in chemotherapy. And unfortunately, my mother was too freaked out from the cancer scare to say, okay, yes, still put chemo on my child. And then she kind of got interesting and decided she could treat my disease herself. So from the time I was 7 to the time I was 21, 14 years, I actually didn't get any treatment, which sucks. I have taken way too many over-the-counter NSAIDs or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications. So, like ibuprofen and all of that. I've actually overdosed on them. It's not awesome. Do not do it. And when I was 21, I got insurance for myself and, could actually make my own decisions. And finally got to a rheumatologist. We talked about medications. I was so scared about the side effects that I waited for about 6 months until I was really, really bad again. And we started on something. It didn't work. I had to go on prednisone for a long time because I had like the worst flare-up of my life. And, in the interim, that was, 8 years ago now. In the interim, I have, failed 6 medications. I'm on my 7th, which is a daily shot, which is interesting to get used to, but it is helping my RA. I am doing really well with that. And now the nice thing is I can kind of address some of the other conditions I have because the RA is not the big thing, like waving its hands, demanding its attention. And we're able to attack, some of these other things that we weren't necessarily sure. Were they RA related? Were they something else? And as far as my RA pain, it's really very limited right now. It really sticks to what I call my problem joints. So, joints that I've injured over the years tend to have become problem joints for my RA too. So, I twisted my left ankle in college throwing a rock at my husband's window. So like, obviously my ankle is awful. My left knee, and then actually like within my neck a little bit, which is actually a lot more common than people think. There's a lot of neck involvement, and keeping in mind that rheumatoid arthritis can affect everything in your body. It can affect your neck, it can affect your vocal cords, a lot of other things. With all that considering, I'm doing pretty well today because we found a treatment that works for me. I'm doing exercise and diet that works for me, with the help of my physician and her amazing team. And, just making sure I'm taking things day by day, which isn't easy, but it's also been like the most important change I've made.